we're going to close this show. David, you challenged me last week to come up with a
Yeah, I
women's
did.
version of the Super Strong Style 16 tournament. You said I couldn't do it. Oh,
And
contrary to my
you,
fair, I have done it. I have matches set
I,
up.
I should know at my age to keep me gob shut. You did it, and
So
you sent me it.
okay,
You sent me
so
it.
here's the ground rules. Made my decisions. One, Rio is still the champion in my physical world. She's not in my tournament. If she wasn't the champion, she would be in my tournament. Two, I limited myself to people who I thought progress could pull in. I may have broke that rule twice, and I'll tell you where I broke it twice when I get to these matches. I have all 16 people into matches. And David, I didn't need 16. I already knew one, even when you said you can't do this. And allow me to present match number one. Match number one will be Kanji versus Mia Smith. David, this is a matchup of a striker versus a Olympic trained professional wrestler in Mia Smith. And oh, by the way, the
No,
most biased pick I had in this tournament because I interviewed her a few years ago. And as soon as you said you can't do this tournament, I was like, David, I don't need 16. I already had one. I only need 15 other people. And Mia's in this tournament.
when I looked through your list, my friend, I laughed. Not in a bad way, but it was like, oh, I know why he's picked her. I know why he's picked her. All of a sudden, the fog cleared away. And it's like, there's no personal bias there. As we're wrestling fans, of course, there's personal bias. We all have our favourites. We all have the ones we genuinely don't like. Which I'm not talking about wrestling heat. I'm just talking about personal heat. And that match did not. And to be fair, loath as I am to give you it, that's a good choice. You get okay. I'm going to give you 3 marks. Yes, no, maybe. All right, and that's yes.
Okay, so if you haven't seen Mia's career, go on YouTube. She's mainly wrestled in the German Wrestling Federation. She spends a lot of time in Germany wrestling. And she had one shot at NXT UK. And if it wasn't for the pandemic, I got a feeling she would be over here stateside in NXT. Don't quote me on that, but I had a feeling.
No, she's good enough. It's just I could answer that, but I'll get in trouble. But that's more to do with NXT UK and the way NXT UK was run going into anything bigger. Yeah, no, good choice, Shawn, on the first one. Can't fault the first one. That would be a good match. Come on, bring it
Okay.
on, bring it on, bring it on.
Okay. Okay. So my second matchup, I'm going to go with Alexis Falcon versus Amel. Yet again, I'm going over to France. Bring me over another French professional wrestler. I saw a lot of Amel in NXT UK, and
Yeah,
I'm putting her against Alexa Falcon.
this is where it starts to die for me because I'm going to be kind and give this a maybe because Alexis Falcon is good, and that's how I'm going to end it without being nasty. This is a nicer Dave today.
Okay. I get a feeling that Amel would carry the day here, and I feel like this would be maybe a sleeper match. It may not be everybody's cup of tea, but I thought putting them together maybe would work. So allow me to present you match number 3. And
The only
in match
way
number
that
3,
previous match, the only way that previous match will be a sleeper is it's a cure for insomnia.
okay, so I'm going to match number 3. I got Lizzie Evo versus Colin King. Now, Izzy Evo was at one point the muscle behind the Atlanta Austin experience. And
Yep.
Colin King is probably the most underrated professional wrestler in North America at the moment. She's recovering from a knee injury. She most recently wrestled in TNA. I first saw her in the NWA live in person when I was at Always Ready. She wrestled Camille in a match where, for the first time ever, thought maybe somebody would beat Camille. Finally, they found somebody to match Camille's strength, power, speed, and it was one hell of a match. David, I text you. I was thinking, is this the
Yeah.
main event of
Yeah.
Always Ready?
Yeah, no. I watched you when I was waving it. I was watching on fight, and you and your brother were sat in the front row, and you ignored me all that whole match. I'm telling you, for Christ's sake, Burkhead, give me a wave, and you wouldn't, you swine. As I saw this, it was one of the ones I laughed at, not in a bad way, because I knew I should have anticipated you picking this match. Can you put the graphic back up for me, please, big lad?
Got it.
Now, Lizzie Evo, yeah, stalwart. I can't argue with Lizzie Evo in any way, shape, or form. She's developing nicely as British talent. And then when I saw Kaylin King, I knew exactly what your thought process would be. Yeah, I've got to give, unfortunately, I've got to give that thumbs up because that was well thought through.
Okay, so I gotta say, Rio versus Kylie King would be freaking amazing.
No, it wouldn't, because we would smash her face in.
Oh, contraire,
You
I
can't
would say
put
that.
anyone in with me. Rio is God at the moment in female wrestling, and I'm talking WWE, AEW, everywhere. She is. There's no one like her, in my opinion, and I will defend Rio to the hilt here because I am normally harsh on ladies wrestling, and I absolutely love Rio. She's brilliant.
Uh, Okay, so we're moving to match 4 of the first round, and it's gonna be Nia Samuels versus Alex Windsor. Now, I just seen Alex Windsor wrestled at New Japan Strong. I gotta say, she impressed me. I need to watch more of her. And Nia Samuels is Nia Samuels. She is the British gift that keeps on giving, and I'm
Yeah,
here for the Nia Samuels show.
yeah. No, I agree with that entirely. It only gets a maybe. The reason it doesn't get a negative is because Nina Samuels is in it, and I'd watch anything she does. Alex Windsor, no, not for me.
Okay, so my 5th match of the first round, I'm bringing over Molly Spartan, and this is where I'm fudging this a little bit because I don't know if they could get solid Brookside, but I'm going to fly with solid Brookside because I feel like this matchup is you got the power of Spartan versus the speed and athleticism of solid Brookside, and you know how like second generation professional wrestlers.
Be honest, you just like Zaya Brookside.
Okay, fine. If you're a long time listener to this podcast, there's been week after week where I was pounding this freaking desk when she was in NXT UK. I literally said on this show that she was going to be the next Bailey.
There was potential there, wasn't there? Unfortunately, I think not through her own fault, it's gone slightly wrong for that young lady. I mean, yes, the namesake is for that reason. She is hugely talented, but she's not had a break. She's something not clicked. In my humble opinion, but it's there, and she's got youth on her side. Um, Molly Spartan. Now, I would question if you were the booker for this. I would question putting those two together because of the styles. I really, really would. You pick two good wrestlers, two good female wrestlers, but I would genuinely question the style and whether they would gel. And I've got a feeling, despite the two talents being excellent in their own right, the match would be a thumbs down.
Okay, so I was working for this bracket and going like, I'm trying to keep the heel face dynamic. So at least in these matches, you know who would be the face, who would be the heel. And I'll concede some points here. This may not be the perfect matchup. And really, I was thinking like Zyla's size versus the fact that Molly Spartan is a freaking powerhouse. And just go back and watch Rio versus Molly Spartan. That's the reason I put her into this bracket.
Well, you'd have to have Zaya Brookside as the face and Molly as the heel. There's no two ways
Yeah,
about it. Molly's played
that's
heel
exactly how I
before.
saw it.
And you can't have someone like Zaya Brookside as a heel. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't be convincing. It's just not. As I say, I've got no issue with either of these two girls at all as performers, but I just don't see that gelling. Sure.
Okay, so let's move on to the third to the final match of the first round. Now, I needed somebody for Lana Austin. I had Lana Austin still sitting out here without an opponent, and I'm going over to Switzerland. I'm getting Michelle Green. Now, like Mia Smith, she wrestles a lot in Germany. She wrestles for the German Wrestler
Yeah,
Federation.
yeah,
Most of the time, she's a heel as well, but I gotta say, I feel like this would be an entertaining match, and I would watch this match.
See, I quite like Lana Austin, and I wouldn't do that to her. I think that's the best way I can put it. The most politest way I can put it. I do like Lana Austin, and you have nearly nailed getting 16 wrestlers that I couldn't, I can't and wouldn't, and I didn't think you could. I'll hold my hands up. You've done really, really well, but no, I wouldn't do that. Personally, I would not do that to Lana Austin.
Well, this was one of the later matches I put together. I was running out of my heel face dynamic in my 16 lady. So I was like, okay, I needed to put the heel face thing to the side for a second. They're both pretty good professional wrestlers. So let's just put them in the match because I need to finish my bracket. So we'll just say Shawn didn't do totally great on getting 8 faces, 8 heels. I just picked 16 of the wrestlers that I enjoy watching wrestling. So, okay, personal advice here.
Let me caveat that, right? I'm not going to knock your effort because I couldn't have done that. So we're on here to give our opinions. You've got my opinions, like it or lump it. And let's call you Simon Miller, and I love you, Simon. I'm not fighting him. I'm too old.
Okay, we're down to
you did well, sir. You did well to pull out a super strong style, lady 16.
hey, I still got 2 more matches to go. So, second to last match. This is a probably rematch of NXT UK as I got Dana Luna versus Millie McKenzie. This is
Yeah.
probably, like I said, I was getting towards the end of putting the ladies together into the bracket, and I was like, I didn't want to go back and reseed my people, so I just stuck these 2 together, and I know it's a rehash of NXT UK.
Yeah, yeah. That and you just said it, Shawnee. I've seen it. Don't want to see it again. No disrespect to the 2 ladies. What I might do actually for a future show, I'm going to take your 16 and I'm going to rebook them.
Oh, I
As,
can't
as
wait
we're
to see
going,
this.
as we're going down that, I'm going to rebook them, and I'm going to put my take on those 16 ladies. All right, or these
Okay.
16 ladies. And I'm going
Ye
to rebook them, and I'm going to try and defend my quota. You put your head above. I'll give you big respect because you put your head above the parapet and given them over to someone like me, and you knew what I was going to be like with this. You knew because you've known me a long while. So I've got to give you all the respect in the world and give you the opportunity to absolutely lace my behind as well.
Okay. So if I could go back and redo one match, this is probably the match I would break up and just throw the ladies into different matches. Now I have one final attempt here to finish this bracket out. And this is where I fudged again because I got Camille versus Amira. Camille is recently reported to be signed with AEW, so she
Yep.
may not be available. And like I said, I kind of broke my own rule here in this match. And I gotta say, ever seen Michael Oku versus Will Ospreay, and the fact that Amir ate a hidden blade to give Michael a chance to get the title, she's getting into this tournament because I just thought that was the coolest spot ever.
When I saw this, I was like, I know Amira. Where do I know Amira from? Why have I not? Why I couldn't play? Do you know what? Right, I went blank. I had one of those mental blocks. Camille speaks for herself, and your argument with Camille is like we've talked about this in a long while. The Camille gimmick is absolutely fantastic, and I love it. Absolutely adore her. She's a big, imposing lady, but is also glamorous, athletic, and I couldn't fault Camille. Then it hit me, no pun intended, where I'd seen the mirror from. And you're right, it's in that classic Red Pro, that really, really good Red Pro. Osprey's final match in Red Pro before he went to AEW. I've not seen enough of her to comment on her, but the fact that you're right, you're bang on. She took the what was it? She took the sling blade, wasn't it?
The hidden blade. She literally pushed Michael
That's right,
Oku
yeah.
out of the way so he didn't get hit by Will Ospreay's finishing move.
Osprey, yeah,
He ate
that's
it,
right, yeah.
and the
Yeah.
crowd, this crowd, was cheering for Will Ospreay through the match until he did that, and literally they turn on Will Ospreay.
Can't beat a British wrestling crowd, mate. Anyway,
So
jury's
there you
out.
go, David.
Jury's out. By the time I rebook this for another show, I will have seen enough of her to make my judgment. I've got no issue with Camille, so this will get a maybe. This will get a maybe because based on the fact that I love Camille, there's potential in Amir. And I've got to be honest, that's my own fault. We watch so much wrestling. Sometimes you don't. Someone passes you by, and that is genuinely the case here. However, I will hold my hand up, Shawn. That's a great effort, and you've opened it up for me just to fucking destroy it. Excuse me, friend. You'll need the bleep. Leave the lawyer. And so it's only fair that I will do a bracket of 8 matches for you to give your criticism of and see what you think.
Oh, David, I can't wait. And I got a feeling that you'll have it ready for our 2-day coverage of Progress Professional Wrestling as we review Super Strong Style 16. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Radio Free Professional Wrestling. That's David of the Smart Mark. I am Shawn. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, tell a friend. And if you know a bookie, let me know because I'm putting money on Simon Miller. Have a great day.